Good morning, everybody. It's Tom Christie back in the painting studio, and it's a beautiful morning in Nebraska. We've got snow on the ground. Looking forward to Christmas. And in that vein, I've got one more ornament, or maybe two more ornaments that I need to make as gifts for people. And I saw a picture of a little bluebird with a winterberry in its mouth, and was just struck by the beauty of that bird. So I wanted to give it a shot. So I just finished up this little bluebird Christmas tree ornament, and I had a lot of fun, again, learning more about this bird. I'm not going to do a blow-by-blow on the carving. I'm just going to do an abbreviated version on the carving and try not to duplicate a lot of things, but I did want to demonstrate how I made the berry in the mouth of this bird, and also the beak, since it's an open and very fragile part of the carving, how I tackled that. And then I am doing a full-blown painting video on this bird, Eastern Bluebird, beautiful little bird. Had a ton of fun doing it, and I hope some of what I demonstrate will be helpful to you and maybe encourage you to give one of these small Christmas tree ornaments a try. Let's take a look at some of the carving techniques I used, and then we'll jump into the painting video. Thanks for coming back. Here's just a quick close-up of the carved bird, and that beak is very small and very fragile, but with the winterberry installed in there, it really helps strengthen the open beak. So I think that's going to be nice and durable. So let's take a quick look at the techniques I used to create the open beak and the winterberry. Here's the drawing I created to make the pattern for the bird. And this little berry, I didn't want to carve that. I want to make that out of epoxy. So this is a little different than the other ornaments I made. So I just thought I'd throw this in here. I'm using the epoxy sculpt, 2-part epoxy, and mixed up a little bit. And then I'm just rolling pieces of that in my hand to create these different size berries. And hopefully one of those will work after those are set up. I'm just not exactly sure about the fit until I get this carved. I've got that very tiny beak shaped up, and I use the end of this flame bit to drill a little nostril hole in there because I didn't want to press with my embossing tool and break that beak. Now I'm just going to do some very fine sanding to, this is 400 grit. Get that smooth, and then I'm going to use the super glue to soak this bill, strengthen it a bit until I can get that epoxy berry glued in place, and that will really strengthen the whole assembly, and then I won't be so worried about the strength of this beak. All right, I've let these cure overnight. These are my winter berries that I made out of epoxy sculpt. That one looks a little too large. That one is close. Let's try this smaller one. That looks good. That just fits in there, so I'm going to use my 2-part epoxy that. That's really going to strengthen this whole beak the open beak situation, and it makes a nice addition to the carving as well. All right, I've got some DEFCON epoxy mixed up, and I don't want to overdo it here, but I want enough on there to really make a nice bond with this berry. So I've put some in place there. Gonna push that in place. That looks pretty good. Got a little too much glue back here. I'm gonna take that out with a little dental tool. That looks good. Same process I used on the other 2 or 3. These little 2mm eye loops, and pick a spot that gives you good balance. And he's ready to seal up. It's going to make a nice looking Christmas tree ornament. I sealed the bird with 3 coats of Prolux Semi-Gloss wood finish. All right, I've got the bird sealed up, and we can go try to paint this guy. That'll be in the next session. Before I sign off this time, I did want to mention one thing. This Tupelo that I've been carving these songbirds from was from Kurt's Waterfowl Corner, Kurt Fobb. He's been around a long time. This is some of the most beautiful wood I've ever had the pleasure of carving. The reason I mention it, it's so light, it's like air. But I had scraps of these. The wood was such a joy to carve, I kept the scraps. And I've had them for a couple of years. I just couldn't bear to throw that wood away. And sure enough, it's come back that I can use those scraps for this purpose and gift that to someone else. I just think that's pretty cool, and I'm fortunate that I hung on to it. But it's a good way to use your scrap pieces in carving. And just a shout out to Mr. Kurt, who's been a longtime supplier to the waterfowl carving industry. He doesn't do that anymore, but thanks to you, Kurt, for all you've done and for this beautiful, beautiful wood that I'm enjoying carving so much. Talk to you later.